Alright, we are back to Ace Attorney! That's where we left off. We were investigating the crime scene within the pawn shop, and we were going to continue. I need some water first. Alright. So we've already talked with the investigator. I'm pretty sure we've investigated everything in here. Yeah, looks like it, so we'll just go to the other room. There might be a few other stuff. We've already talked to her as well. Check this out. That ledger that's open on the counter there is really enormous, isn't it? Must be an awful lot of work to keep track of all those hundreds of items in pawn. It's too much to think about. Better to sell it all and have a clear head if you ask me. But clearly Mr. Windabank was very careful when it came to the articles in his care. Well, now he's dead. Alright. What else in here? This is that strange contraption that lets you see pictures of things as if they're right in front of your eyes. It makes you think. Mr. Sholmes gleefully showed it to us yesterday. We were blissfully unaware that any of this was about to happen. Okay, and this? I'm fairly sure this contraption was here yesterday as well. Here we are. Though I'm not confident I can get it closed again. Oh yes! That's a folding stereoscope! Really? This is a stereoscope? Mr. Sholmes showed us a picture yesterday that you were supposed to be able to see in 3 dimensions. But for that, he used the great big contraption over there. Well, that's for use in public houses and places like that. It contains a carousel with all sorts of pictures inside. But this little thing is a much simpler design for use at home. There are special shops selling prints you can use in them. I have a little collection myself. I wonder if I could make money out of these in Japan. It would beat keeping my toilet sparkling clean anyway. Okay. Just point in. The police are scouring every inch of this place by the look of it. Instructions from the yard are to examine every article in the shop and every ledger and books of accounts. Every article? But that's a ridiculous amount of work, surely. We've been hard at it ever since the shop was declared crime scene in the early hours. We're sifting through it all in shifts at least, but still. We'll be working through the night, that's for sure. And even then, we'll barely have scratched the surface. Crime in a pawnbroker's. Must be every policeman's worst nightmare. It's every copper's worst nightmare. You know? A crime in a pawnbroker's. Okay. Oh, no. Didn't mean to do that. Ah! Oh, they're all gonna say the same shit. Skip! Skip! Alright. Doesn't seem... Oh, here we go. Green blood. Just seems wrong somehow. Oh, there are all sorts of different colors. There are pretty pinks and purples. Purples too, you know. Like I said, everyone's blood is different. I wonder what color my blood would turn out. Actually, I don't want to know. It looks like everything. Alright. What do we have? Pawnbroker's ticket. There's still a Scotland Yard carriage outside Windibanks. I never imagined we'd be investigating a case so close to home. Poor Iris. She's very upset by all this. I'm sorry. I was there. I should have done more. None of this is your fault, Runo, so please, don't apologize. But it's the criminals who are to blame for all this, so let's investigate and work out how to catch them. Yeah, you're right. Alright. Nothing here. Maybe we go back to... Okay. Nothing still? Maybe we need to present him something? Okay, nothing about that. This is a ticket that Gina brought in here yesterday. Yes, having been entrusted to her by Mr. Magoda 2 months earlier. Article deposit, one gentleman's overcoat. The other redemption ticket was in the pocket of that coat. Yes, for a small box deposited 2 days before the omnibus incident. Have that had anything to do with all this? I don't know what to do. Pretty much scoured every bit of this place. Man drinks too much tea. Actually, maybe... If you let your concentration slip, you might miss what people say. Is that what I think it is? Your ladyship's latest? Yes, my latest story. It's called The Hound of the Baskervilles. Most fascinating title. Your ladyship? Fascinating. And, I don't suppose... Would there be any mention of my humble self in the tale this time? Good question. I can't really remember. I see. Well, why would you, ladyship? I'll just await its publication with eager anticipation. You needn't worry, Inspector. I'm sure if you do appear, you won't be doing anything particularly remarkable. God, I can't speak today. You looking to be arrested, sunshine? I didn't mean it like that, and even if I did, you wouldn't have bitten her ladyship's head off, would you? Okay. Really? No way for us to read that? Damn, there's really nothing else in here. There must be something else in here we're missing. Maybe we should present this to her? Oh, my manuscript. Mr. Shom said he deposited it at Windabanks and he had. But it's so strange. What is it about this particular story? I worked so hard on it. Why would Hurley say I can't publish it? I'm afraid I have no idea. All you can do is wait until he's ready to tell you, I suppose. Oh, maybe it's because Hurley isn't in it enough. Maybe I didn't give him enough good lines. Yeah. Maybe. Wish I could say that definitely isn't the reason, but I can't. Okay, what about this one? Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't really like boring story. Okay, I can't present her to that. Okay. Yep. Alright. I'll be sure to let the entire population of the Empire of Japan know on my return. Alright, blood samples? The way you can identify differences in people's blood like this is amazing. You really are a genius, Iris. I know. I am. If Hurley and I put our minds to it, we could really shake up Britain's chemists and alchemists. And you could shake up Japan's lawyers and judges. Couldn't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, for sure. Even if I didn't intend to. Hmm. I'm so lost. Like, I've inspected everything I could. Though I wish I could look at the fucking camera that's in this room. Is there really nothing else to talk about? I mean, I guess we could go and see Gina. The only place I can think of that we... Oh, okay. Gina doesn't appear to be here. I believe she must be in questioning at the moment. Oh, but... wait a minute. What is it, Iris? Well, if you examine the scene here carefully, there's another possibility, isn't there? Ginny could have slipped the key from the jailer when he wasn't looking and escaped. Oh my. Wait, why would she do something like that? It would only make her situation worse. Calm down, Iris. I was only joking, of course. Oh. Ugh, you had me worried there. Thought it was a great deduction. Yes, it must be your way with words, Iris. You're so wonderfully persuasive. Perhaps you don't fully understand the weight your words carry. Oh dear, I'm sorry. I suppose a light-hearted great detective is a contradiction in terms. Well, in the same situation, I'm sure Mr. Sholmes would just have thrown his head back and guffawed. I'm not entirely sure that's helpful, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, anyway, it looks like we won't be able to talk to Gina for a while. We should try to make progress with our investigation in the meantime. Yes, come along then, Runo. Come along, Susie. Alright, well, that's out of the loop. If you let your concentration slip, you might miss what people say. No! I didn't mean to do that! Okay, maybe I just gotta keep showing Iris more stuff. Perhaps the white cat? Oh no, I think I already tried showing her this. Ah! This is outrageous. Okay, let's go back to the storeroom. Maybe I... Inspector, what do you make of this?
Ah, what have we here? A redemption ticket for an article deposited here, is it? Looks like someone ran out of office stationery and wrote the ticket on whatever paper was found in. Yeah, this is the ticket for Mr. McGilded's overcoat. One that little diver turned up with yesterday.
Oh, actually, no, it's not.
Really? Think you know better than me, do ya?
No, I didn't mean to, Bruno's right, Gregsy. It isn't the same ticket.
Of course it isn't. Of course it isn't. I never doubted you, your lordship, ladyship. So what's all this about then, if I might be so bold as to ask?
This is a second ticket.
Second one?
It seems that Mr. McGilded, in fact, had another article in storage here at Windibanks.
Is that right?
I think we need to discuss this further with the inspector, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, good. Because he's ever so easy to talk to. Oh, thank God. Okay. This ticket was in one of the pockets of Mr. McGilded's overcoat.
Eh? You mean to tell me?
Yeah, there was more than just the music box disc, it seems.
I'll be damned. Should have insisted on the lads taking it back to the yard and examining it properly.
Well, according to the details on this ticket, Mr. McGilded deposited another article here with Mr. Windibank.
Yeah, I can see it written here. Small box, was it?
Do you have any idea where it is, Gregsy? Any idea? It's another article belonging to Mr. McGilded. It could be an important clue.
Well, yeah, I suppose it could be. Please, just stop looking at me with those big turquoise eyes, all full of hope and expectations. It's too much pressure. I'll lose me marbles, I will. I'll go barking.
This is no time for dog impressions, Inspector.
That's enough sauce from you, Sunshine. There is one thing that springs to mind. According to this ticket, the redemption deadline's already passed, hasn't it?
Oh yes, of course. Articles are only held for 2 months. So the small box would no longer be in here then.
That's right. It's been forfeited.
Which means it could be on the shelves in the front of the shop, where the forfeited items are offered for sale. Yeah, the shelves in the front. We must search them at once.
You're wasting your time.
Oh?
There are dozens of little boxes out there. Hundreds even. We can't possibly know which one might have been Mr. McGilded's. That information's not written in the ledger.
Well, I think we should at least have a look, just in case.
Of course, your ladyship, of course. Very sensible of you, I'm sure.
This is getting old. Alright, so... guess now we can go back to the main front of the store. Yes, this is where all the items that have been forfeited by their original owners are offered for sale. That's right. They've all got little price labels on them, but there are so many. I wonder if the small box this ticket was for is still on the shelves somewhere. The box that McGilded deposited here just over 2 months ago. Even if it were, finding it promises to be very troublesome indeed. There are so many boxes. It could be any one of them. Mr. Sholmes said that a pawnbroker's was the safest place to store anything, more secure than a bank's vault. So perhaps the small box of Mr. McGilded's contains something of great value. Well, if that's the case, he'd probably have kept it locked. So then we need to find every box with the lock and break them all open. Hi-ya! Why did you... okay. That sort of misconduct would get you arrested. I won't let that happen. This takes me back. It's been some time since Susato-san last threw me. Hmm. Okay. Looks like a box I could open, but... Oh. I was about to say maybe I could look through the ledger, but I guess not. Uh... I'm going crazy. Alright, so I've already shown him this. I tried these two. So... This is so hard. I just want to go to court already. Maybe I short this? No, I guess not, of course. My goodness. So lost. I don't know what to do. I thought I hit it, but I guess not. So I can't look all over these shelves, even though that looks like there's a box right there, or this one. Could be anything, really. But, or these? Oh, jeez. Still nothing. Okay. Still nothing. Okay, so we're missing something. Something of great importance. We could linger here a little longer, I think. Okay, so there's something else here. There's something else I haven't looked or done. Wait, then perhaps maybe I talk to her? No. Okay, then there's something I need to present her then. Well, I don't understand. Like we've already looked like I've just been thrown by fucking Susato. So I can't look any further, so I don't know what the hell else am I supposed to look at or do. There must be something I'm missing. Okay, maybe just... Maybe I need to show it to her again? Okay. Yeah, maybe I just need to show her. Oh no, I already fuck, I already tried. Oh, it means nothing to her. Poor Ginny. This is all my fault, really. But she'll be alright, won't she? In court tomorrow, I mean. I'll defend her with everything I've got. So, she'll be alright, won't she? Am I that bad at instilling confidence? Okay, I've already shown her this, that, this. Yeah, what else is there to do? I don't think we need to be here anymore, do we? If you let your concentration slip, you might miss what people say. Okay, so something in here I didn't present to her again. I'm just gonna go through the evidence again. Mr. Winbanks appears to have used the back of this photograph to write out a redemption ticket. He's written it very neatly, but still, perhaps he ran out of paper, so had to use anything he had to hand. It's hard to know what's the front, what's the reverse side now. Okay. Let's try this again. A brother in Christ. I'm like literally scanning every inch of this fucking place. Okay, maybe... If you let your concentration slip, you might miss what people say. Well, it sounds like she's indicating that I need to talk to her about something, but like, what is there to talk about? could have another go at viewing them as a stereoscope. So I need to cross my eyes and try to get the two cats to merge in the middle as one. Such a hard thing to do. Whoever thought of this in the first place must have spent a long time sharing. Oh wait, okay. Suppose that's what's so compelling. Actually, now we have... I could have another go at viewing them as a stereoscopic image. Let me try it myself. Nah, I can't do it. I tried. Thought of this in the first place, must have spent a long time staring. Dude, what am I supposed to do? Okay. No. I can't. I just want to progress the story, my dude. Okay, maybe we should just leave this place. I'm gonna move around again. We're just gonna keep moving until something triggers. Actually, maybe we need to go back to crime scene. No. Okay, I'm gonna look up a guide, because this is actually driving me a little crazy. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Rededuction time. Part 2. Okay, the Naruto. Go to the prison, the Windabanks. Get her to sign. Banks on brokery. Okay, hold on. Scene of the crime. Gregson goes over how the scene. Okay. Present the pawnbroker's ticket. Now you can talk about the second. Okay. Don't go back out into the shop. Instead, examine the shelves in the open chest. Examine the victim's traces. Okay. We've already looked in here, though. We'll go back out into the shop and just examine the shelves and open the chest. Irish story manuscript, we got it. Examine the victim's traces to update the blood sample portfolio, which we've done. And then examine the revolver on the floor after everything has been investigated. Chime on the grandfather's clock signifies that the prison is closing within hours to move to the prison. Right, but I've already done all that. So I don't understand. Wait. Examine the blood stain on the back of it. It will become the pawnbroker's ticket coat, which... Oh, okay. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's something rather troubling here. I have noticed. The red smear you mean... Yes, it looks like blood, doesn't it? I wonder if Susato-san has picked up on that. Well, in that case... Yes, we need Iris. She showed this to her before we forget. Okay, so that was literally the only thing I was forgetting was that I didn't look at the... directly at the blood. Okay, so in that case, now... Go back here. And then present her the blood sample on that, so... We'll go ahead and show her this. Oh, that looks like blood! Yeah, I'm surprised we... I'd say it's from the gloved finger, almost certainly a glove made of leather. Well, don't worry, Runo. You can leave the rest to me. Oh, okay. Oh, it's a purple color. Look at that. Yes, that's a color we haven't seen before, isn't it? We simply must add it to the portfolio of blood samples. It could be an important clue. Although, it would be nice to find out whose blood these different colors correspond to at some point. Well, this particular stain of blood... Oh, you've had an idea, haven't you? Do you know whose blood this is? I think I might know. Yes, I have an idea whose blood it is. Not from the color it turned, but with a little deduction. That's right. I think it's clear. Iris, you know as well? You first, Runo. Who do you think it belongs to? Alright, I believe that this is the blood of... Okay, so if I think it's McGilded, then it would be thrice-fired Mason's blood? It's not Windibanks. It has to be thrice-fired Mason. Thrice-fired Mason? You don't sound very sure of yourself the way you trailed off there. Well, it was 2 months ago now, that case. Of course, I never met the victim, so I'm struggling to remember his name. He was definitely thrice-fired, though. The victim? Of the omnibus case? Yes, his name was indeed Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. That would mean that this bloodstain was left on the ticket 2 months ago. Yeah, I think it was. Gina brought this ticket here to Windibanks yesterday. I'm suggesting that the bloodstain was already on it at that time. So it's a smear of blood from the time that Mr. Mason was killed 2 months ago. Something else is coming back to me now. Mr. McGilded was also wearing leather gloves that night. Yeah, so he touched... Well, of course, he murdered Mr. Mason. His blood would be on the gloves, and it pressed onto it, so... Now I ask yous what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fellow bleeding from his stomach. I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. Oh, he was dead. Certainly does look like a leather glove thumbprint, this mark. But we know that Mr. McGilda had no injuries at the time anywhere on his body, from which we can conclude that any blood on the glove belonged to the victim, Mr. Mason. Mr. Naruhodo, you sound just like Mr. Sholmes. Minus the quirky slip-ups, I hope. Yes, I think you're right, Bruno. Very well. Let's make a note of this. Okay. And we've also updated that. So now we have 3 different blood samples. We got Mason's blood, Mr. Windibanks, and... Oh. Okay. Ah! I nearly jumped out of my skin there. How could Mr. Windibanks set such a wicked trap? I doubt he set out to scare anyone. Is that really the time? I think perhaps we should pay Gina another visit soon. Oh? Her trial is tomorrow. We must establish whether or not you will be defending her. I think we should ask her one more time. She may have changed her mind. Don't you remember, Bruno? You told her she could rip up the representation papers if she didn't want you to be her lawyer. Really? Did I say that? Yes, you did. The deadline for submitting the paperwork is fast approaching. In that case, we had better hurry back to the prison and talk to Gina again. Alright, now we can go and talk to her. Alright, it's 5:41 p.m. now. It's getting pretty late. Ah, Gina. Good. You're back. Ah! I wasn't scared. The police must have finished questioning her then. Oh, how was it, Jeannie? Was it awful? Was it awful? Eh? Oh, didn't bother me. Thank you for the papers you signed before. It meant we were able to investigate at Windibanks. Oh, right. Don't you want to know how we got on? We've been never so busy. What's the point in asking? Won't change what everyone's saying. That I did it. That's not... Gina, we came to ask for your final decision. Eh? What decision? About tomorrow's trial. Will you let me defend you or not? I must submit the paperwork now if you'd like Mr. Naruhodo to represent you. Right. I see. She's really lost her fight all of a sudden. I know what that feels like. The worry is just so hard to bear. Oh, alright then. Blimey, give it a rest with them eyes, Iris. Come on, then. Fill us in. Who done it? Unfortunately, we don't know that yet. You don't say. We don't know yet, Gina. But Mr. Naruhodo and all of us know that you are innocent of this crime. And while we haven't yet managed to work out who the real culprit is, there are a number of interesting facts that we have managed to establish. Oh yeah? Like what? Well, for example, The reason for you being there in the first place. I think I know now why you broke into Windibanks that night. Looks like I'm gonna have to take some evidence that clearly reveals the reason. Thrust it in Gina's face. Or I could present it to her calmly, I suppose. Alright. I'm gonna show it to her. Oh. Present it to her. Found this in Mr. Windibank's storeroom. The manuscript of Iris's latest story. Oh, right. Well, that's good then. Curiously, the storeroom at Windibank showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value or the like. With one exception. The box file that housed this manuscript. It was you, wasn't it, Gina? Broke open the box containing this manuscript last night. Eh? You were determined to find out whether or not the Hound of the Baskervilles was really there. That's the real reason you broke into the storeroom last night, isn't it? Ah! Ah, I fucking hat. Why don't you tell us what happened, please? Alright, yeah. This Baskerville story. It's the latest Sholmes adventure, right? But it ain't been printing yet. So I figured it's gotta be worth a fair few pieces of silver, right? Oh yes, at least 5,000 pounds. What? So, you intended to sell Iris's manuscript, did you? No, Ginny, how could you? What? Wait, no, hang on. Hang on. Of course I wasn't gonna sell it. All I wanted to do was find out if the manuscript, or whatever you call it, really was there or not. That's the only reason I was in the place. For Iris's sake? Isn't that right? We knew why'd you done it from the start, Gina. Of course we did. But... I knew you wouldn't do anything mean like that, Ginny. I just knew it. Well, when I saw the manuscript in the storeroom, it reminded me of what you'd said the night before. Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, the lot of them. Just ain't realized it yet. I'm telling you, that manuscript ain't at Windibanks. You'd soon see if you had a look. If I'm honest, I've wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere. Somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Yep. Oh, Ginny. That was so sweet of you. Yeah, until she got herself in a fucking murder scene. Alright. I'll tell you why I did it. Just stop looking at me like that, Iris. It weren't because of Iris. That's not why I did it. I just wanted to know the truth. That's all. You wanted to know if Mr. Sholmes was being honest. If he'd really deposited the manuscript at Windibanks. It's like I told you the night before. Never had a father. But Iris's lot ain't like mine. Got her dad, only she can't see him. And I reckon that's gotta be Ada. Oh god, she doesn't know! She fucking doesn't know! I'm so fucking guilty! Okay, get it together. Alright. That's why she writes her stories. About her dad, really. That's what it sounded like to me, anyway. Last night when I was listening to what you were saying. Stories. Stories? About Daddy? You mean they're not the adventures of a great detective? So much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty partner. Well, that's how I see it, yeah. You're so thoughtful and so kind, Ginny. Yes, and we never thought any differently, did we? Look, give it a rest, will ya? I ate all this chummy nonsense, do you hear? I ate it. I don't trust no one, alright? That's how I work. So if you don't trust no one can let you down. So leave me alone. Go on, Scarpa. I hadn't noticed until now, but it's unmistakable. Right there on both sleeves of that overcoat are some very suspicious red stains. Oh, what, these? What? Why are you looking at me like that? I think it might be worth presenting some of our other findings in the area to Gina now. Yeah, hold on. Do you see this pawnbroker's ticket, Gina? It's the one you took to Windibanks, isn't it? The one for that black overcoat that you're wearing now. Eh? What? That? I don't know. They all look the same to me, those tickets. Surely not. Well, this one has a very obvious mark on it. That would appear to be blood. Eh? Does that ring any bells? I don't know. It all looks the same to me. Blood. They all sound the same to me, these answers. Suspicious. Oh, wait a minute. Hold it. Wait, hold on. That coat is probably the coat that Mr. McGilded wore. So he switched out with another one and gave the bloodied one to her. Because, you know, the fucking sleeves. Alright, that's alright. Those stains on the sleeves of your new coat, Gina. They're blood, aren't they? Not that I know whose blood yet. What? Blood, Mr. Naruhodo? You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though. So could it be blood that splattered from Mr. Windibanks when he was shot last night? Let's not beat around the bush here. This trusty friend of mine will get results much faster than anything else. Eh? Just take it easy, Iris. Blast her! Don't move, Ginny. I'm gonna shoot. It's gonna be purple. Oh, fuck. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I didn't realize it was that bad. I was expecting her fucking sleeves to turn purple, but not the whole fucking sides. Jesus Christ. Oh my. What the? Get the sleeves. The whole coat is covered in blood. Of course. The black color of the fabric was masking the stains. That's why we haven't seen them until now. And the blood has reacted with the chemical to turn into a purple color, which matches one of the samples we've already collected perfectly. Yes, now let's see. Who had the purple blood? Aha, yes. It was the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, the victim of the murder case 2 months ago. I knew it. What are you all on? What are you all on about? The victim? What do you mean? It's a rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruhodo, but I think this makes things quite clear. It means the omnibus case is finally solved. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, is revealed. Yeah, it was obviously McGilded. We just didn't know how. Oi! Would someone explain what's going on? Stop telling a half story. We can see now that the victim's blood is all over Mr. McGilded's overcoat. But in the trial 2 months ago, the defendant said this in his testimony. Now I ask yous, what good-hearted soul would rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. Yeah, but you wouldn't get blood all... Yeah, but then... Why would he change his coat? If you look at this overcoat now, it's clear. These stains couldn't have arisen from McGilded trying to pull the victim to his feet. No, if that was what had really happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over the front of the coat. The only explanation for this pattern of blood is that it splattered over McGilded's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach. Tried to run from the truth for long enough. There's no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer, was Magnus McGilded. Yeah, but we don't know if he's... Well, actually... Well, he's supposedly dead, but I'm pretty sure he actually staged his own death. Mr. Naruhodo, that horrible case is solved at last. And I helped the man walk free from that trial. I used all that twisted testimony and all that sham evidence to prove his innocence. How could I have let that happen? Well, you know why. Bruno, did you believe him, though? Did you believe Mr. McGilda was innocent? I believed. Or rather, I think I was trying to believe. I wanted to. Just believing in those you represent in court is the defense lawyer's greatest weapon. A weapon? Before we came to Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson. You mean Kazuma-sama? Oh, it's me, your dead friend. Listen, Rinosuke. We lawyers are only human. Can't know for sure what is the truth and what is a lie. Which is why we must resort to our primary weapon. Samurai swords, and an unwavering belief in our clients. That's all what we really have. Fucking believe it. Unwavering belief? Also, only when we truly believe what our clients tell us can we fight with everything we have for their cause. In any battle, there can be no victory without faith. Okay, Kazuma, but why is your headband wavering? There's no wind in here. Do not worry about that. But know this, I believe you, unwaveringly. I still to this day don't know how his headband still waved like. What's funny, Gina? Poor. Sounds like in this empire of Japan you come from, everyone must be soft. Well, fuck you too, Gina. Well, come on, look at the mess it's got you into, believing in that bog trotter. Yeah, I inadvertently helped a murderer walk free, and then he died after. I don't feel too bad. Well, at least you've learned your lesson now, eh? Believing in people never worth it. Someone always stabs you in the back in the end. Okay, Gina, stop being a little bitch. Soon as you let your guard down, you've added. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe in no one. Get hurt by no one. Gina, may I ask you something? What? I'd just like to make absolutely sure. What would you like us to do with these representation papers for tomorrow's trial? How many times do I have to say it? Rip them up and chuck them away. Are you really sure that's what you want? I bet that's what he wants and all now, Mr. I'm a believer lawyer over there. Don't forget it was me in that trial 2 months ago. I led everyone up. Excuse me. I led everyone up the garden path, didn't I? And you're telling me you can believe in me after that? Not likely. Well, okay, to be fair, you were threatened with murder. So you really had no choice other than to follow McGilded's words. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, the lawyer's primary weapon is an unwavering belief in his clients. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not I feel I can trust Gina after everything that's happened. I can't trust her. Okay, I'm very tempted. I'm very tempted to just... Okay, hold on. Just for the laughs, I'm gonna just save this real quick. Okay? Okay. I'm gonna just... I'm gonna say I don't trust her. See what happens. But what choice do I really have here? I have to believe in her. Well, I can hardly believe myself that I'm making this choice in spite of everything. Let's just put it down to one of life's little curiosities. Gina, let me say it again. Okay. Okay, so regardless of your choice, okay, I'm gonna reload. Okay. It seems like regardless of your choice, I will still represent. But yeah, but personally, I do trust her. I just wanted to see what the meme was. Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in tomorrow's trial. Eh? You half-baked? Not at all. You've not once admitted to committing the crime, have you? What's more, I believe that you're telling me the truth. Seriously? Mr. Naruto? Didn't you hear all of what I said before? I'm a born liar. Fibs just tripped me off the tongue. And I'm a diver, don't forget. I pulled the wool over your eyes 2 months ago and got you into all sorts of trouble. Again, you didn't have a fucking choice. Why would you ever trust me now? I just don't get it. Gina, I do understand why you choose not to put your trust in others. But I assure you, there is more to this life than you yet realize. What do you mean? The world we live in is full of people you would do very well to trust. People who won't ever let you down. Eh? It's true that I'm just a student of law and I'm certainly lacking in courtroom experience. But I can promise you this. Whatever happens, and until my very last breath, I am completely on your side. But only for the money. I'm just kidding. What do you expect me to say to that? Oh, she's crying. She wiped a tear. She was moved. Then it's decided. I will take these papers now and carry out the necessary preparations for tomorrow's trial. You would be ashamed to throw them away now after it's been penned with your name so beautifully. Do what you like. You Eastern Lara. I don't know what you are. I don't get you. Alright, Gina. Gina's taken herself off to the back of her cell. She'd never admit it, but I hope she's feeling relieved. That turned out alright in the end. I think. Alright. Whoever's hiding there, show yourself at once. Eavesdropping is the height of cowardice. Miss Susato? Somebody's there in the shadows. I can sense it. Somebody who wasn't there before. What are you, a fucking ninja? What? Yeah, who's that? Blimey, your shop, yeah? Oh, okay, it's Inspector Greg.
I suppose you weren't using one of those mystic Japanese arts. Like the art of stealth I've heard so much about.
If anyone was being stealthy, it was you, Inspector. Gregsy!
Oh dear me, I am most terribly sorry, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you.
How long have you been listening in on our conversations?
Good grief. Listen in. No. I just got word that there were some visitors who were refusing to leave even though it was after hours. I assure you, your ladyship, I only just arrived. This very minute, in fact, not a moment earlier. That's all it is. Nothing untoward, nothing at all.
After hours? Is it that late already?
So then I humbly excuse myself now, your ladyship. Ta-ta, toodaloo, cheerio, all the best, bye and bye.
That's a lot of farewells. Not one of them appropriate for a ladyship. Oh, but I wanted to have a chat.
I'm terribly sorry, but time is pressing at the minute.
Oh, I see. That's a shame.
If I don't get this emergency at the Supreme Court dealt with sharpish, Lord Strongheart will, well...
Emergency? Lord Strongheart?
Nothing, I forget I said anything. Anyway, I'm off.
Alright, Gregsy, if you have to, let's chat soon.
Delighted. Charmed. Can't wait. If you please, my pleasure. I'll grab some tea.
That's a lot of pleasantries, and not one of them sounds sincere. Gregsy's so funny. He says such silly things. It's certainly entertaining to see an inspector of the police fawning to a 10-year-old. But anyway, I wonder what this emergency is at the Supreme Court. I must attend the court clerk's office now before it closes. Yes, of course. Thank you, Mrs. Sato. Kindly escort Iris home now, Mr. Naruhodo. I shall meet you there later. Damn. Still can't believe that she's going away. So, our investigation came to an end. Susato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defense of Gina the following day. Then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Susato-san would be leaving Britain and making her way back to Japan. Alright, it's 11:13 p.m. It's almost midnight. Naruhodo-san, it's been a very trying day, hasn't it? I do hope you're not too exhausted. What about you, Susato-san? Today has been even more trying for you, I'm sure. So Sholmes was shot before our eyes, Gina was arrested, all on the back of the news that her father has fallen ill, that she must return to Japan at once. I, hope your father recovers soon. Thank you for your kind words. I wonder why it is. So many thoughts rage in my head like a storm, and yet I seem unable to find the words to express any of them. I know exactly what you mean. Anyway, I have one final task to complete as your judicial assistant. Once that is done, I shall make preparations for my departure tomorrow. Final task? Now, what do you mean by that? Oh, here. Let me talk about this stuff first. It's just 2 months since we arrived in London, but we've managed to establish this office. It's finally feeling as though we were settling in. I would be lying if I said I felt no regret. So sorry, Susato-san. It's just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I had no time to gather my thoughts. I know we've only been here a short time, but in my limited experience of the courtroom, I feel I've learned something. And what would that be? Seems to me, there are many facets to people's personalities. Facets? Like a jewel, light plays off them in complex patterns, illuminating their actions and their motives. But we only see a small number of the total facets. What is illuminated is only a part of the whole story. I have no idea what the fuck you just said. Okay, fair enough. What lies in the shadows? What do those facets we cannot see look like? Perhaps there are some parts we'll never lay eyes on, for as long as we live. That's so true. Sometimes I feel as though I'm blind to so much. I keep hoping that one day it will all become clear. That all the facets will be illuminated. And I'll finally understand how everything fits together. Naruhodo-san. I suppose what matters is that we keep our eyes open, keep moving forward, even if the way sometimes seems dark. It's amazing to think it's been just 2 months. You've grown so much. Sorry? I've what? Oh, no, it was nothing. Unimportant? Wow, okay. Goddamn. Alright. Do you know what time you will leave London in the morning? Yes, I picked up my ticket earlier. I shall be leaving here at 4 a.m. I see. Well, I'll escort you to the station. Absolutely not. Sorry? I'm sure you realize why I couldn't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow. Gina's trial. Well, yeah, I know, but every word you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate. You must get as much rest as possible. Even though, like me, I'm sure you will find it hard to sleep. But please, for me, do try. Fair enough. You mentioned one final task a moment ago. What did you mean? Oh my, I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this. What is that? Some huge bundle of documents? It's my notes from the case 2 months ago. The murder that was committed on the omnibus. A goated case. It seems to me that this case of Mr. Windibank's murder, of which Gina is accused, is very much tied up with the omnibus case in ways that are not yet completely apparent. So I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about the case for you. With everything else she's had to think about, Usato-san still managed to do this? All neatly laid out for me in her beautiful handwriting. It was my pleasure. I can only hope that it will bolster your case tomorrow for Gina. Thank you so much, Susato-san. I will do my best to use it wisely. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. Sorry? I didn't quite catch what you said there. Oh, ignore me. I was just mumbling to myself. Nah, Susato, you're the best girl I could ever have for a judicial assistant. All right, don't you shoot yourself in the foot like that. Don't you ever talk shit yourself. You've been great, even though you've been throwing me over your fucking shoulder in the judo move. Well, it's getting rather late. I think you should go to bed now, Naruhodo-san. I must finish packing up my things in my room. Susato-san, I wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Good night. Wait, there's something I need to say. Hi, oh God! What was that? A secret technique of mine. The Susato shutdown. Shutdown? Please, I implore you. If we have to voice our goodbyes, I won't be able to hold back my tears. No, Susato-san! Ah, you made me cry a little. That was actually very sad. It teared me up a little bit. Susato-san. Damn. You let your waifu go? It truly had been a trying day. On our feet for hours, getting Gina to open up to us, learning the truth about that nemesis of a case. Physically and mentally, I was exhausted, and yet the idea of sleep seemed impossible. But I forced myself to close my eyes, and as a cacophony of scenes of our lives here in London played through my mind, eventually, my fatigue triumphed, and I fell into a deep sleep. Oh. Alright. Small hours. St. Signers Hospital. Ward 3. Yes, I quite understand. That is a great weight off my mind. What? Rest assured, I shall put everything in place, exactly as we have discussed. Thank you so much. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes. On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell, and Godspeed. Ah, Susato, my dear madam. Oh, you look jiffy. To be continued. Alright. This is it. Court. Case is about to be made in court. Alright. Here we go. This is it. Day of the trial. When I awoke the following morning, Susato-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets. So began an even longer day than the last. One that I would remember for the rest of my days. Alright, here we go. Is Iris gonna be my judicial assistant? Good morning, Gina. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it. Where's your friend, then? Sorry? You know, in the fancy dress. Susardo? Or however you say it, I don't know. Miss Susato had to leave early this morning. She was already gone by the time I woke up. You alright with that? Are ya? Forget about me if you like. Go and see her off. It's fine. It's not as though Miss Susato and I won't meet again one day. Even so, but you, Gina, you only get one chance. This trial today is all we have. Good morning, you two. Yep, I figured. Yep. And she brought the fucking cat. How are you feeling, Ginny? Did you manage to sleep? Meow. Iris, what the fuck? What are you doing here? Why'd you bring that weird cat? Meow. What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we show our support. Isn't that right, Waggy? Meow. Ugh. Ah, Waggy! Great way to show your support, kitty. Meow meow, bitch. Let him have a nose around. What harm can it do? Oh, my fucking eyes! He's scratching my eyes! Oh, that reminds me. I brought a paper on the way here. Fuck! Now, would you like the good news or the bad news? What do you say, Bruno? Ginny? Oh, well, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Nah, always take the good news first. You might not live to hear the bad. Yes, that question always gives away people's personalities. Let's not go there. Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. Okay. A record amount of rain has fallen this morning and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move. Huh? Bad news was a weather report? So I hope that Susie made her train to Dover and that train isn't delayed on its way to the port. Ah. Oh gosh, yeah. Alright then, so what's the good news? Well, the rain is forecast to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, it should be able to make up the time later. Okay, so you just gave us a full weather report. Well, that is a good news, isn't it? I couldn't give a monkey's ass, really. Only all good news canceled out the bad. And look, this trial has made the headlines too. Pawnbroker perishes in picked purse plunder. See? How do you like that? Well, let them say what they want. See if I care. I kinda care. Can't because you're covering your face. Don't worry, Bruno will soon show everyone that this headline is nonsense. I will? And then, in tomorrow's papers, the headlines will be Discharged Divers, Dauntless Do-Gooder. Isn't that right, Bruno? Oh, yes. Well, let's hope so. Of course they will. I have absolute faith in you. How was that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Did it? It's like she was still here. Except she's 10 now all of a sudden. Good luck then, Bruno. I'll do what I can. Hmm? Obviously, I don't know the law like Susie does, but still. Oh, hey, put the gun down. The bazooka man. I'll be by your side the whole time, giving you morale support and encouragement. I'm not sure that big thing is as comforting as you think it is, to be honest, but... thank you, Iris. That's very kind of you. Now, please put the fucking bazooka down. Oh, yeah. Iris. Yes, Ginny? Well, I was wondering is all. About Sholmes. They fix him up right? Yes. The operation was a great success. But Hurley still hasn't come around yet. Eh? I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up. I'm sure Gregson will let us know the moment there's news. Oh, right. No Susato-san and no Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me today. Prove that Gina is innocent of this crime.
Miss Gina Lestrade, counsel for the defense. The trial is about to begin. Please make your way into the courtroom.
It's time then. Yeah. Let's go, Gina. Iris. Lead the way, Bruno. Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. I have to believe in her from the start to finish. That's the weapon that will secure our victory here. Still, that fucking headband. If I learned anything from my great friend, it's that. Fuck, I forgot. Alright, 10 a.m. The Old Bailey. Oh, some familiar characters.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. I now call upon the counsels from the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
Ah, fucking back. The prosecution's ready. The defense is ready.
Lord Van Zieks.
My lord.
Remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the public prosecution service?
It was some 5 years ago, my lord.
Ah, yes. And then 2 months ago, you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly. And here you are again. There are some circumstances in which the court should be aware that have led to this erratic behavior. And what one might describe as your former life 5 years past. You dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government.
What? Really?
Yet today, you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess, find it more than a little befuddling, counsel.
There are 2 types of persons I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy. Fucking English. To cheat the public at large. He means Mr. McGilded, who you defended against the Reaper 2 months ago. Man, you're really short. Anyways, yes, I just about managed to work that out, thank you. Magnus McGilded. If I'd known what a monster he was, I never would have defended him. And secondly, even more loathsome, those willy scoundrels who masquerade as allies only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the confidence tricksters from those tiny islands in the Far East, these Nipponese. Okay, what? Did he really just say that? He means you now, Bruno. I actually managed to work that out too. Thank you, Iris. Sounds like he's trying to call me monkey or something. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? The torrid look of hatred in Lord Van Zieks' eyes. Was that directed solely at me, or was he talking about all Japanese people? He's a fucking racist, that's what he is.
An alarmingly scathing explanation, Lord Van Zieks. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by all London's malefactors.
Your lordship is too kind.
Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people. Which is kind of weird considering that 6 of you, I'm pretty sure you were here last 2 months ago. Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you and determine the guilt or innocence of the defendant?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Former lieutenant in the British Army here. Don't you know? Chaps like me were born ready.
Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate here, I think. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely, absolutely everything. And I'm ready for it.
I don't understand it. I can't have left in there. It's not possible. Or could I have?
Women indispensable in society. Stop. female-centric future awaits. Stop. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower. Please. Also, this is my pet, Juno. The fuck? Is something wrong, Bruno? Yeah, this fucking juror group. Or, well, not exactly, it's just... I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact. Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? But it is quite strange. The jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know. So I've been led to believe. But something tells me I'm being duped.
Alright, very well. Now, Lord Van Zix, the court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case.
As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pop Winderbank, proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. Oof. Damn, I'm surprised it wasn't in the head. As the court will observe, there was a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near instant death. Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. And what's that supposed to tell us? It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. 1 to 5? Yeah, my favorite case. Yep. Welcome. Someone like the accused, someone like the accused, you might say. Oh. The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord.
Yes, indeed. The court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please.
Yeah, hand it to the bailiff. Benedict. Crime scene photograph. Yep. I now ask the court to turn its attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. Okay. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept articles pawned to him. A windowless room with a single point of entry. A door to the main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber, there were only 2 persons present. The victim, Mr. Winderbank, and the accused. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet. Yeah, but why the fuck was she knocked out? Like, that's still kind of weird. Well, that's that then, isn't it? Nothing more to say. Isn't that grubby little girl a pickpocket anyway? She's one of those filthy drabs who live in the slums in the East End. Oh, well, it only mattered of time before she got blood on her hands then. Yeah, I assume she was scared. Yeah, man. Yeah, objection! Hey, we can't... Yeah, she probably got scared. We can't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive. And he starts again. My learned Nipponese friend, it is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. What? Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses.
Good gracious.
After their testimony, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pig-purse, or cold-hearted killer. They all just hating for no reason. She's just silly with it. Yeah. Here's to establish the truth. Man, fuck that dude.
The court will take the floor plan and firearm into evidence.
Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord Van Deeks.
At once, my lord. Alright. This isn't good. I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Bruno. I think that's because it has.
Oh, he took off his coat. Let us begin. Bring forth the witness to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Winderbeck on April 16th of this year.
Yeah, who the fuck are these witnesses? Oh my fucking god.
Hey, don't look at me. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court.
Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is, baddie. Professional baddie. Name's Ringo Skulkin. Occupations, same as him.
Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector.
That's right. We're what they call the Three Skulkin Brothers.
What are you looking at me like that for? Don't lump me in with you lot.
Cool, blimey. That's cold. Don't you know what we're going through? It's your older bruv. Lost contact with him, we have. We're scouring every shady corner of the capital. And then, last night, we came across you. Very spittle bloke. Ain't that right, Ringo? He is, Nash, he is. The very spit of him. We decided, and then what we was gonna do, we was gonna call you. Big Bruv Skulky.
Come on, leave it out, you two.
Sulky Skulkin? And that's before he's run out of chips.
Well then, Inspector Sulky Gregson? Begging your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias. What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you are doing in the witness stand.
The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft. I headcanon that Sulky was never real, that he was made up by a childhood friend they believed blindly because he's smart. Their only frame of reference is a thumb-like drawing. Oh god.
Thieves, are they? These three? No, my lord. Begging your pardon. But please don't lump me in with this lot. Please, I'm begging you.
2 nights ago, these two brothers illegally entered an establishment with an intent to burgle. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime.
By Jove, you mean to say, what an extraordinary coincidence.
Indeed, my lord. While attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery, they witnessed its proprietors murdered.
Order! Order!
The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, though they will naturally face trial in the very near future.
With your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in the stand to keep these gents on the straight and narrow. Oh, of course, Inspector. Skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses. I will permit them to take the stand.
Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Why the fuck did I say that? You will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night into question and what exactly you saw. Happy to. Because a Skulkin never Skulkin. They're like the fucking Mario Brothers, I just realized. Maybe I should give more of an Italian voice. We was a walking down Baker Street in the small house, and the gaff door was ajar, see? It was like some kind of sign, begging for us to go in once. But once we got inside court, blimey, love me, we heard a gunshot from the back room. We went to see what, but the door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that, nice and quiet. That's why, okay, I'm starting to think the creators took inspiration from the Mario Brothers.
A terrible coincidence, it would seem. At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot.
The Skullkins clearly didn't get their fashion sense from the childhood friend, considering the colors of their bow ties. Yeah, obviously.
The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside, and within, only the victim and the accused were found.
I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now, of course. Counsel, if you please. Counsel?
Yes. What's the matter, Runo? Sorry, I just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair in the stand. I know that's all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies it is. Alright, here we go.
Hold it!
The front door of the Windibanks was ajar, you say? What time of night was this? It must have been about 1. Right, Ringo? Yeah, I say so. Right, Sulky?
Why the hell, how would I know? The place would have been shut at 1 in the morning, just like every other shop in town.
Well, it was pitch black inside, it's true. Ain't that right, Ringo? I'm not sure, Nash. I seem to remember a little light burning inside. What about you, Sulky? Me old mucker?
You know, I'm just... You know, leave me alone.
There definitely was a small lamp burning inside. That's what alerted us to the situation in the first place.
And when these gentlemen ventured into the open establishment, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, already had the muzzle of her gun trained on the unfortunate victim.
Objection!
Okay, that is pure conjecture.
Perhaps, but in change is nothing. These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder, simply because they found the door of the victim's establishment open and ventured inside.
Right, that's what happened.
Hold it!
What are you trying to suggest? That you had to go in?
Well, God moves in my mysterious ways, they say. Don't they, Ringo?
They do, Nash. They do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon. God's will often presents itself as the whim of thieves, does it?
It wasn't no whim. I'm dead sure of that.
It wasn't Nash, it was. Like we said at the time.
You don't just find doors open in the middle of the night like that. There's no two ways about it.
It was a shame the long-lost brother was inside. They're not very good liars, are they?
Well, you can't deny it.
Oh, Nash, what a pure Christian man. A good, trustworthy man. Totally not a perjurious thief.
Yeah. He led us to bloke what looks just like our buff.
Fucking Christ. Like I said, cut it out.
Those chips are getting a chomping day.
Hold it!
A gunshot, you say? Just the one? Are you sure about that?
Yep.
Just the one, Governor. I could swear to that. It was, yes, it was. Ain't that right, bruv?
The firearm used belonged to the victim himself.
Yes, Mr. Windibank always used to leave his gun lying around on the counter. Right, I remember.
When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds.
That makes sense. Mr. Windibank always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded. That's true, I remember him saying that as well. And him always constantly threatening to kill himself.
So we can say that with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used as the murder weapon. Yes, my lord. We can.
And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused. Wonderful.
Hold it!
Do you mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? If my learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps a drawing would help. For your kindergarten level ass. Okay, you don't need... Windibank tempted fate far too many times, yeah. Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there's only one other door. That's of the storeroom. Of course, there was only a little oil lamp burning. Not much to see by. And the door was hidden behind the curtain and all. That's right. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by a curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door?
Eh?
Any normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think.
Your turn. Well, yeah, sure, yeah. I suppose you'd have to say we ain't normal, eh?
Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination. My learned Nipponese friend, it would seem, is of the former. Alright, somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night.
Thank you, Counsel. So, I believe we all understand that the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses.
Such strong, heroic men. We never done nothing, Gup.
Hold it!
You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story?
Well, it was a bed lamp soon as, weren't it? It was, yes, it was. They even have time to pull me dukes down me leashy lockets.
So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say?
That's right, Governor.
Nothing we ain't more than violence. Peace-loving nibblers. We are not bludgers. One thing we do have going for them is they are silly geese and very loyal.
We are, yes, we are. Never even pulled me dukes down me knockers.
So you clearly like us to believe.
Eh? Come again?
As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person?
Saints alive, they fired a gun, you say?
Ah!
Blimey, Governor! You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway.
It was.
By the being Nora? Didn't you mention that before?
You were armed with a gun. And as you fled the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Herlock Sholmes. They shot the great Mr. Sholmes? I did hear that, actually. There was a rumor he'd been pushed to the hospital. The great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Oh, my God! Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of shots having been fired from it.
Oh,
The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers.
Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzles, you say, Counsel. The court will hold this weapon as evidence.
Okay. Ugh, I need a drink. Now, my learned Nipponese friend. Yes? Here's to your successfully presenting the evidence. Oh yes, there are the telltale signs of spent powder on this gun, and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime, under scrutiny in the trial. Wait, you're asking me to prove that this gun was fired? Well, I don't need evidence, because I was there. Eric's alcoholism is never addressed.
Objection!
However, the rest of us in this court were not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on. Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Windibanks then. Yeah, we have the fucking green blood on the wall.
Court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in the pawnbroker's shop?
Well, obviously this.
Take that!
The evidence is in this portfolio.
What? What on earth have you there, Counsel?
During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do. How arrogantly Nipponese of you. Okay. Your Honor, this is racist. Well, anyway, we analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the result in this portfolio.
And you claim to have the evidence the court is demanding therein?
Green blood lime flavored. Shom's flavored. Yes, my lord.
No more dallying then, Counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene?
Eric's entire personality is vampire, racist, and tragic past. He's basically like Edgeworth. Alright. Alright, well, literally, it's just this.
Take that!
Also gay.
What is that? Explain.
It's a photographic print taken at Windibank's pawnbrokery on the day of the incident.
From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? And if my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged in there.
Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Windibank's calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death.
The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight. This indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been sent to the 16th.
That's right. And while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes this is credible evidence that the witness did fire a round from their gun in the pawnbrokers that night. Ah! Oh my god, he's so short. What the fuck? Jesus Christ.
Order! How does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zieks?
Meh. That is all, Your Honor. Meh. If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. What?
Lord Van Zieks, can you please stop throwing your fucking chalices?
But you'll forgive me for flinging my hollow chalice
Okay, there it is.
aside in disgust at the repugnance it exposes. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire. I'm sorry, did you say baddies? Are we the baddies? Opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street. Eh? Hey, take it easy there, Governor. You're gonna land us in the soup.
Yeah, the deal. You were good getting into some details.
No, I'm joking. Get the bloke straight.
I have nothing to add.
So he knew, did he? Van Sieks knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. It would seem now that I owe my learned Nepalese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact.
What fact do you refer, Lord Van Sieks?
As has been established at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brother's gun. However, if that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes, then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim. In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Winterbank at all. So that's it? What? Okay. That's it. We didn't have nothing to do with it. We didn't, yes, we didn't. That's what I reckon. They could have easily reloaded their gun after shooting Winterbanks and didn't have the time to reload between the time of shooting Locke and Flink. That is true. Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not forget attempted murder.
What a catalog, eh, fellas?
Wait for it now, bruv. Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where's he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery. Eccentric? Says who? Not me. Don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop. Oh! That's one of Hurley's red-handed Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot the cameras.
What is that, Counsel? Here's the appearance of a photographic contraption.
As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. And they were found connected to the Winterbanks murder. Even if they didn't kill him, they would still be charged for felony murder, even if they didn't commit it, in America at least.
Yeah.
Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device from the night in question. Okay. Wait, I don't think that doll was there, was it? As the courts will observe, copious identical prints are produced in a quite desultory fashion. Yeah, 49 years early.
Rather prodigal, I feel.
In fact, there are two such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. If I may refer the court to the plan of the premises, their respective positions are here and here.
You say these cameras produce a print every half hour. I'm afraid I failed to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals.
One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera. That's a bit of fire talking, bruv. Lady Luck loves just skulking.
Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin?
Must have been just after 1. Right, bruv?
Must have been, yes.
Must have been, yeah. Just gone 1. Gone 1. In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence.
Good lord.
Oh shit. Oh fuck, she's got a gun.
It's the defendant. Miss Gina Lestrade.
Oh shit. Okay, this is quite incriminating. As the court can clearly see, the accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. no doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom.
Quite. One can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. Court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel.
Okay. I don't believe it. Ginny. In short, the accused is the only person who could have possibly have killed Mr. Windabank. Don't give your Gina guns. They are unhealthy. The preferred enrichment of the gene is smoke grenades. You're right. You're right. He's only allowed to have smoke grenades. That's it. My pride. I say, my lord. Okay. Wonder if I might put in a word at this point.
Oh, go ahead, Mr. Foreman.
Took a bally bullet to the knee in the Battle of Maiwand, 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it all that, but forced to retire from service, sadly. Of course, a medal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield.
Oh, yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point?
Carried on the battle after retirement, you see. Battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am now, leading this small squadron. 6 men. All good and true. We'll all go down together. You mark my words. One for all, and all for one. I love Mr. Garadev. He reminds me of my dad, but British and older and with an abusive wife. My mom's cool. Duran sucks. Yeah. Mr. Garadev is a pretty cool character. I like voicing him in his presence. I don't know what he's talking about right now, though. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we ought to understand?
Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct?
In a manner of speaking, yes. That is the Garadev squadron position, sir. What? No, it's too soon to make a judgment here. Status report of the court men. On the double. His lordship insists on promptitude at all times, and that goes for making decisions too. I think you'll find the truth is as clear as a day now. I could reach out and touch it.
I wouldn't have left it in there. I just wouldn't. In all honesty, I can't actually remember.
Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop. I am very sorry for brothers. They are unlucky. And so is Juno.
Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her learning, leading, goddamn, in this matter. Announce your considered verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
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 Oh god. Oh shit. Okay, right off the bat. Now we gotta. Fuck. Brandon seemed to like whenever he would talk about his time in the war. He seemed very timid about his achievements before the time. He tried to avoid it when he talked about it. Yeah, it seemed like he didn't like talking about it. He seems like a very humble man. He also didn't like the fact that he was getting a medal but had to get it anyways.
It does appear that the jury is unanimous in its leading already.
Photograph. It must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned. But Ginny didn't shoot him. No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination.
Very well. The court grants permission.
Oh, wait, you're saying he was bragging it out. Fair enough. Yes, he was bragging. I would agree. So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising. I'm sure this jury would not get convinced otherwise.
We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready?
Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty.
Alright, so I just need to get 3 of them. Or 4? 4, yeah. All the evidence clearly points the fingers of guilt at this young pickpocketine. As a housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated. Alright, clean freak. I think you'll find that if you look at all that photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out.
If I have left it in there, I should think there'll be repercussions by now.
Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission of verdict to follow. Stop. In motherland, we say never judge by clothes. Judge by head. I am convinced brothers are innocent. And Juno here also thinks so too. Turn number 3 definitely has autism. Perhaps. The circumstance of the crime and the evidence do indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively. The storeroom locked from the inside, in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone. And in the accused's hand, the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses. Not to mention this print. Take it from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl is on the verge of pulling the volley trigger. Yeah, it doesn't help that her finger's on the trigger. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes. Oh dear, Hurley's cameras were supposed to help, not hinder. I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you. Regina didn't shoot Mr. Windibank. Which means there's more to this situation that we've yet to see. Agreed. You have the floor, counsel. Proceed with the summation examination. Alright, I'm gonna have to press them all. That fucking guy's so tall.
Hold it!
You're Mr. Natsume's landlord, Mr. Garrett, aren't you? We really must stop meeting like this. Ah, you're that lawyer chap. Well, there's a turn-up for the books. Yes, rather a turbulent time we had back then. Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. We got his abusive wife arrested, that's good. Actually, yeah, did she get arrested? I don't think she did. I mean, if it was an accident, well, she might have still been charged for reckless, or I don't know, reckless endangerment, maybe? I don't know. I think we did rather a lot for you, didn't we? I mean, obviously. I wouldn't be suggesting that therefore you should change your lenient to not guilty or anything. Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Garrett house was the talk of the town after that business. Lodgers moved out, and I couldn't get a bally soul to take up the tenancies. Oh. I haven't had the heart to break the news to Joanne yet. Bad enough that the old girl's clapped up. Yes, can't be denied. We did do rather a lot. Not for us, that's for dash certain. Wait, so she did get arrested? Oh, fuck. I suppose not. Of course. There can be no suggestion of that being the reason I'm leaning towards guilty here, obviously. Obviously, but honestly, I really wish he'd pay more attention to the trial and less to juror number 2. Bro, dude, is he checking out this chick? Oh my god.
Hold it!
Polishing the bench, I see. Again. A maid's work is never done. Not a blemish must remain. What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores? Oh, on my way to the market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pick-purses, and crossmen. The scum of the world. A little harsh, perhaps. Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span or eradicated. At least we have people like the great detective working to achieve these important goals. You were referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes. That's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Rant's magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London streets. I think he's reminded of Joanne and the maid he likes. Ah, gotcha. You're right. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital. Mr. Sholmes? A maid? It's really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective. Minor detail, it was the two brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant. Minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned. Maid dress Herlock? Oh god. Well, it just might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway. Yes, alright. I shall amend my statement. Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for shooting the great detective.
Hold it!
I agree with you. The shooting of Mr. Sholmes was an unforgivable act. But the purpose of this trial is to determine who shot the pawnbroker, Mr. Winterbank. Or Mr. Winterbank. I'm afraid you're splitting hairs, sir. Sorry? Whether it was the thieves or the pick purse, it was still gutter trash that shot the pawnbroker in the end. Filth that should be cleaned up and eradicated. Okay, you're starting to sound like one of those, you know, very zealous people from the Warhammer world, you know what I mean? Like exterminatus. Thanks so much for sharing. Changing this maid's mind isn't going to be easy. Bruno, he was one of those two brothers that shot Hurley, wasn't it? Classist as fuck. Yeah. Yes, without question. Well then, I'll never forgive them. Oh, Iris. Perhaps we can use this maid's statement to help us somehow, do you think? Yeah, maybe. Let's listen carefully to what each juror has to say. Alright, next one. Ah, yes, the autist one. Good God.
Hold it!
What do you mean, look at the photograph in stereo? Oh, sorry, what? Don't you know? Oh. If you look at the photograph in print normally, it looks as though the pickpocket girl is about to shoot the victim, obviously.
Objection!
But there's no indication that the defendant ever shot the gun. All I'm saying is that if you look at the same print in stereo, it could reveal all sorts of new information. Autist isn't really the right term. Fair enough. By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes? God, this man. Oh, how did you know? It's called a lucky guess. Never gets old, seeing the two prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary. It's captivating. It's the height of modernity. Of course. Oh yes, I think you'll find that the stereoscope is here to stay, giving us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen. If only it could give me a new perspective on this case, I may agree with you. Okay, what is he talking? Okay, why is this old man back? Why is he a doctor?
Hold it!
What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? You keep talking about having left something somewhere or something like that.
So sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon.
A surgeon? That totally passed me by.
Of course, people conducting surgery in this country are considered to be doctors. Even though me and my kind are the more forefront of medical science, the real brains in the field.
So, what is it that you think you've left behind?
Oh, well, that's, a little embarrassing to be honest. See, I was operating on someone yesterday. Same thing. Went in through the abdomen. When I finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel.
Oh, fuck me. What? Did he? Surely not.
Exactly. Surely not, you say to yourself, don't you? Worrying isn't it? That's what's been troubling me this whole time. Could I really have left my scalpel inside the fellow's belly? No, of course not, I couldn't. So, there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really.
That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter.
That's exactly my concern. And seeing as this case appears to be all but sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly where I've sewn up elsewhere. Now, sure I made sure everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you can be without being sure.
Sure, you need to be more sure. Mind made up. Stop global. Okay.
Hold it!
Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean? Are you from the Far East? Stop. Yes, from the Empire of Japan. All communication with the Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey. Ah, but now we have the electric telegram, so we can send messages using electric signals. Thousands of miles of cables have been laid out along the ocean beds connecting to the entire world. Thousands of miles of cable? On the ocean bed? Makes my head hurt just thinking about it. You are well informed, young lady. Hehe. The cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop. And just when I was starting to catch up. Radio transmission is the future. Stop. Message carried over airways to 4 corners of the globe. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmosphere electric. Stop. Right. Try not to wear out your fingers. Era of wireless telegraphy. Stop. Driving technological revolution. Stop. People say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. What utter piffle. I can't understand it. I really can't. They're just silly toys.
Excuse me.
Yeah, excuse me. Juror number 3, sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but... What? Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess. Oh, you bet I do! Say that again. Go on, I dare you. Stereoscope autism versus Morse code autism. Oh my god, I didn't think about that. Goodness, are you talking to me? I think he just might be, yes. You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you? Huh? Absolutely. I mean, really. A machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions? Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. What a great way to appease the man. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all. You just don't know. Pardon? I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate. Sort of possibilities. Well, take a crime scene for example. You had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope. It could reveal hidden clues you'd never even noticed before. What? Have you gotten any, Bruno? Any prints we could look at with a stereoscope? Yeah. How about this print here? Should do the trick, I think. Would I use this?
Take that!
Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Of course I can. Very well then. I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Just give me 1 more print and I'll amaze you all. Oh shit. I don't have another print. Shit.
Take that!
Wait, sorry. What do you mean, 1 more print? Oh dear. Don't you have these in the Far East? Don't you know how a stereoscope works? Bruno, what? You need 2 photographs for a stereoscope, remember? Oh yeah, sorry. You know, 1 for the left eye and 1 for the right eye. Oh yes, I remember now. The print we have from the pawnbroker is just a normal photograph. No. I think you'll find that the clue is in the name. It's a stereoscope, not a monoscope. You always need 2 prints. Thanks for the friendly explanation. Well, if we obtain another print at some point later in the trial, we can't always show it to the young man then. Ha! I think you'll find that know-it-all expression is really starting to annoy me.
Let's get things back on track, shall we, Counsel?
Aw, damn. Yeah, hold on. Let me,
Hold it!
press him again. Okay. So let's give him this.
Take that!
What? I can't use that? Oh, okay, I guess I can't. Okay.
Hold it!
Alright, let's talk to the Russian. Please tell me you're not a villain Bolshevik. The Russian revolutionary. Revolutionary? Da, I believe there is such a rumor. It's just a rumor? I can be just like Juror 3 about my interests, catch me being annoying about video game lore. As you see, I have unfortunate appearance. I look like vicious criminal. Your words, not mine. Just want to point that out. People call me revolutionary, murderer, autocrat. And which glove fits? Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Right, that didn't sound staged at all. You'll forgive me for having my doubts. To be treated like vicious criminal all time, it is very painful. People do not realize. I have much sympathies for these brothers. People say they are criminals only because of how they look. The Skulkin brothers? Ah, maybe they went inside pawnbroker's shop, but they have done nothing wrong. That's all I want to say. Skulkin brothers did nothing wrong that night. Alright, well first of all, that's one not so little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up straight away. Tell me something, Iris. What is it, Reno? The jurors are chosen at random from the inhabitants of London town, aren't they? Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? In that case, how is it there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks for all the world like a revolutionary? I wish I knew. Yep. I can't change the minds of more than half these 6 jurors. Trial will be forever. Will be over. There. I said, oh, okay. We know that Ginny would never shoot anyone. Yeah, so we need to find contradictions to what these jurors are saying and pit them against each other. I must be ready to go to whatever lengths I have to convince them of Gina's innocence. I guess I could pit her with...
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
Good lord. Counsel, explain yourself.
Oh my statement? Contradictory.
Contradict.
C-O-N. Juror number 6, you've got the wrong end of the stick.
I do not have stick. I have mouse. His name is Juno.
As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene of the night in question, they fired a shot from the revolver. Yes, they shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen, I understand. Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear.
Abdomen. Abdomen. ABD.
Sir?
Sorry. My English is still learning.
You are telling the court you didn't hear?
Forgive me. I did not hear. Ah, here's a word. Abdomen. Part of a person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English. I am Russian, not a native speaker.
Who thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again?
So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying? They said before we never done anything. But in truth is, they shot detective. Ah, this is double negative.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Lying is wrong, especially when lie is said by person who looks like criminal.
Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced.
This means, when they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also big fat lie. Is this true?
Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so... Enough. There's no one now. It's not the mouse's fault, though, sir. I must see with own eyes. I must investigate crime scene on myself. Yes, it is, Runo. Easily. Sorry? With the prints from Hurley's red-handed recorder. Ah. If you compare the print that pictures Ginny and the next print from half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. Cooey, Mr. Prosecutor. Calling on the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination of all times. The print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Following this, the victim and the accused moved into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and summarily heard the fatal gunshots ring. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later, after the brothers' flight. So this was taken after Hurley was shot then? As far as I can tell, nothing has been taken. Does seem to be the case. Can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print. So, the brothers who look like criminals told only one lie. They shot man, but they stole nothing. It would seem so, yes. Good. No, not good. You are right. I did not understand the situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it is very important to continue with trial. Oh, okay, well at least he changed his vote. Yay! Well done, Bruno. Balance is shifting. Well, it's a start, I suppose. There must be more in what these jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. If I can do that, we just might turn the situation to our favorite still. Thank you, counsel. Continue with the summation examination. And kindly hand that new photographic print to the bailiff to be followed as evidence. Another print in the court record. I wonder if we can make use of that. Nope, I didn't mean to do that. Alright, now we can show them these pictures. Oh.
Hold it! Take that! Take that!
Alright, these two prints were both taken with the same camera and window banks on the night in question. Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer. You know how stereographic images work. You understand the principle? Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday. Left and right eye's image need to be the same, only with a slight shift in the positions of some objects. Then, when your brain merges the two images together inside your head, it notices the shift as if it were in deaf. Yes, exactly. It's that small shift between certain objects in the two pictures that's really important. What happens if you use two photographs that are exactly the same then? No, obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the scene three-dimensionally anyway. Oh. Oh, of course, now I see. Ah, I think the young girl has discovered the secret. I have. Oh god. Can you, uncross your eyes before you tell me? Have another look at these two pictures from Hurley's camera, Runo. Go on. Of course there are two people in the first and no people in the second. Well, yes, you can see that straight away, but now, try looking at the pictures in 3 dimensions. Alright, I'll give it a go. To start with, have to cross your eyes and then try to make the two pictures overlap exactly. See if by crossing my eyes I can make the quill pens from each picture overlap in the middle. Wait. Well, did you manage to see it properly, Bruno? Not really. I'm just not very good at this, that's the trouble. Oh, don't worry. I have just the thing. I happen to bring with me a portable stereoscope. I know I mentioned this yesterday, but if you've had that contraption with you from the outset, you could have saved me staring at Mr. Windibank and Gina like I hate them all the time. And if you remember, I said in reply that it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes. Anyway, why don't we try using this helpful little aid now? Here goes. Now let's see what we've got. Wait, look at that. What's going on with these two pictures? Some of the things on the counter sort of jump out at you. Oh my god, the fucking judge. Yes, that's it. You see, that's the other amazing power of stereoscopes. Other amazing powers?
Someone gonna explain this black magic, eh? Why the deuce do some of the things on the counter seem to jump out at you like that?
I think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you'll answer your own question. Basic principles of the stereoscope. As I said before, if you try to look at two identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's a slight shift in the positions of certain objects that lets you see pictures three-dimensionally. In other words, even though at first glance it seems the objects on the counter haven't moved at all between the two pictures, it shows that exactly there must have been a slight shift in their positions. It does look like some things have been shifted around. Only slightly. Yes, there must have been.
Now hold fire there, sir. Got a reasonably grasp of this whole cross-eyed business now, I'd say. Why the devil does this shift between the two prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on. You're the cross-eyed master.
What? Me? I haven't the first idea. You know, Bruno, it's quite simple. It is? Just think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 a.m. Then, 30 minutes later, the second photograph was taken. But the position of some items on the counter appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter.
Zookers.
Someone tampered. New information. Stop. Not mentioning testimony so far. Stop. Yes. We've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems. Starting to see what I should be aiming at in this summation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items in the countertop were moved, but by whom?
Are you suggesting you might know?
Of course. I can tell you right now who is responsible for the almost imperceptible shift in the items on the counter. I can tell you right now who's responsible for the almost imperceptible shift in the items on the counter. Really, no. Say, this guy?
Take that!
Who is the witnesses currently in the stand? The Skulkin brothers. Wait, this does not agree with what Bullet said in testimony before. They said they did not even have time to pull Dukes from Lucy Lockets. My Facebook says Dukes is meaning hands, and Lucy Lockets is meaning pockets. What is this? Another lie? Is this what you are saying? Yes, I'm afraid so.
Hold on there, man. You can't be sure of that.
I quite agree. The accused is a common pick purse after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal. I think that's unlikely. And why exactly? As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Windibank to open the storeroom door. In other words, Miss Lestray's interest lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. The Skulkin brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony. But the accused is a pick person. Common gutter trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here? Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madam. No better than fact than the pick purse. I believe that these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against by two thieves?
Well said. I, for one, would like to hear more of that shady pair.
What? Did he just headbutt that? Can you all see now? I think you'll find stereoscopes aren't playthings. You've seen their extraordinary potential firsthand. Nice. Wholeheartedly agree. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. Will return home via Regent Street. Stop. Whew.
Well, it would seem this trial is yet to run its course. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. I recall the summation examined to conclusion with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus. And I order this trial to continue.
Yay, well done. Oh, by the way. What? You should hold on to this, Runo. You never know when it might come in useful. Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely, but alright. Alright. So real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and actually stop here. Because right now I've already gone through 2.5 hours and it's almost midnight, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a break for now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Tomorrow I will probably continue to finish this first part of the trial, and then hopefully finish it by the end of the day. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you later. Ciao. And also thank you for the follow, Izzy the Ace. I'll catch you around. Till then, bye-bye.